Hey there, comic book people of the world. The fourth issue to Tales of the Taro Demon Deimos just recently come out from Class Comics. There's two versions of this, the regular version and the deluxe version. I'm going to talk to you about the deluxe version because obviously it has more in it. This issue consists of 4 different stories, all of which were written by Patrick Fillion, who also illustrated one of the stories, with the other 3 stories all being illustrated by a different artist. The first story is titled Sacrilege, which was drawn by Stephen Player. This involves Deimos investigating a church where 2 altar boys killed their priest. They also happen to be twins, and of course there is a demonic possession taking place. I love Stephen Player's artwork. He makes Deimos look much more of like a stereotypical demonic figure. He still looks like Deimos, but he's given his own take on him, so it does stand out a bit. The second story is called Meet Cute, and this was illustrated by the artist CLX. This story involves Mac McKenzie, who is also being assaulted by several demons. Enter Deimos to the rescue to fend them off. Mac and Deimos also have their own little unique chemistry with each other, which I'll leave it to your imagination, being that this is Class Comics. I've done several reviews on CLX's other comic book series that he's done for Class Comics, one of which is called Lust. The detail he puts into his characters, specifically with all of their body hair and facial hair, I'm really impressed with, and I love that he puts this into this character as well. This was a nice short little read, and I'm glad that CLX had a chance to shine in this. The next story is titled Slaves of the White Worm, and this was drawn and illustrated by Patrick Fillion. This issue is a continuation for the comic title Gay for Slay, issue number 1, which stars Isaiah Shade. This story has taken place sometime in the past, when Deimos just started his road to redemption for trying to get his way into heaven after doing all of these evil deeds as being a demon. He had recently helped Isaiah cleanse out an evil entity known as Arledge Crawley, but unbeknownst to them, this also opened the floodgate for even more evil entities to take its place. Enter the tentacly evil White Worm. If you know me even a little bit, you know that this is my favorite story out of this issue. I won't go into the reasons why. This does wrap up the first issue for Gay for Slay, so I'm happy about that, and it's also leading into issue number 2, which I'm highly anticipating as being really incredibly awesome and hot. The final story is titled Lair of the White Worm, and this was illustrated by Roken Dinashi. This is more of like a side story from the previous story, where we get a bit more of a glimpse of what the White Worm is doing to Deimos. I can't really show too much of the graphics, but you can pretty much guess that it's a tentacly demon doing certain things to him, and it's awesomely graphic, like really awesomely graphic. The deluxe version of this digital comic book includes a lot of different bonuses, including some extra artwork from Stephen Player. There's extras from CLX showing rough sketches of the characters. There's an exposition by Patrick Fillion giving some background on Deimos and how he started out years ago, so it's an interesting read so we get some idea about what Deimos has gone through. Last but not least, there's also the silent edition of this comic book where all of the word bubbles have been taken away and you can just appreciate the art for what it is. The story goes very well, so you can probably follow along without needing any type of explanation or word bubbles put in there. If you are a Deimos fan, you will absolutely love this issue. I mean, hell, if you're just a gay comic book fan, you would love this issue. Like all Class Comic titles, it is very mature, so I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. Patrick Fillion loves his characters, but the more he loves them, the more he likes to humiliate them in certain ways. So much so, in fact, there is a point where something happened to Deimos in this that I was just like, wow, he really went all out on that. I'll leave it at that point. This was a really fun comic book to read. If you're interested in buying this, you want to go to classcomics.com and you can download a PDF version from them. With that, thank you guys for watching me in this video. If you haven't done it yet, check out my Patreon site, check out my social media sites, check out my website, and everything else out there. Peace, love, and I'll stay, and I'll see you guys later. How many tentacles and or other objects can fit in one small hole? You would be really impressed with what Deimos can take.